Umtiaz was 62. His wife had passed away years ago, leaving behind only memories that lived quietly in the corners of the house. His son, Javed, worked abroad and came home just once a year. Loneliness had become Umtiaz's oldest companion. His daughter-in-law, Rafia, lived with him. She was kind, quiet, and carried her own silence, a silence that matched his. One slow afternoon, the house stood still. Rafia went to the kitchen and made tea, the aroma filling the air with warmth. Umtiaz Jai, it's time for tea, she called softly. The old man walked in slowly, leaning on his cane. He sat down at the wooden table that once echoed with laughter. Please sit with me, he said gently. Rafia hesitated for a moment, then nodded and sat across from him. They sipped tea in silence. The only sound was the quiet clink of cups. After a long pause, Umtiaz spoke. Do you remember the stories I used to tell Javed when he was little? Rafia smiled faintly. He mentioned them, but I never heard one. His eyes brightened, as if time had turned back. Once, I went to a mountain village where the air smelled like dreams. My friends and I climbed until the clouds touched our faces. He smiled, then his expression softened. Those days are gone now. My friends, my wife, even Javed, all far away. Rafia lowered her gaze. He'll come back soon, she said quietly. Maybe, he whispered, but this house has forgotten how to laugh. Rafia reached out and gently held his hand. We're still here, she said. Maybe we can bring that laughter back. He smiled faintly. You remind me of my wife. She used to make tea just like this. Said it cured sadness. They both laughed, a small, honest laugh that lingered in the quiet air. That evening, the postman arrived. A letter slipped through the door. It's from Javed, Rafia said, picking it up carefully. Umtiaz opened it slowly, his fingers trembling. Inside was Javed's neat handwriting. He wrote that he couldn't come home this year. Work had been extended. He sent his love and a few photographs from abroad. The old man read quietly, then smiled faintly. He's busy. Life moves fast for the young. Rafia looked at him and said softly, then let's make this home move again, too. Let's start a small garden, like you had with your wife. He looked up surprised. You'd help me. Of course, she smiled. We'll plant Jasmine. You said she loved Jasmine. His eyes softened. Yes, she did. She always said Jasmine carries peace. Days passed slowly, but the courtyard began to change. Rafia planted seeds, and Umtiaz watered them every morning. The sound of water, the scent of soil, and the quiet company of two people filled the air. Sometimes, they'd sit under the open sky with tea, talking about small things, a sparrow nesting nearby, the sound of the radio in the distance, or the way sunlight hit the wall. The laughter they had both forgotten slowly found its way back. Weeks later, one morning, a jasmine flower finally bloomed. White and delicate, glowing in the soft sunlight. Umtiaz smiled, walked to the plant, and gently plucked the flower. He placed it in Rafia's hand. She would have liked you, he said softly. You've brought life back to this house. Rafia smiled. Maybe it was the tea after all. He chuckled quietly. Yes, maybe the lonely tea isn't lonely anymore.